What is up, everybody? My name is Free and welcome back to a brand new episode of Redstone Craft. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are flying through the block district, and you might have noticed there's a little something here. Just like I said last time, today we're going to work on the first build of the block district, or block central. I'm not sure which one I like best. I think we're probably going to interchange them. But yeah. It's going to be nice. It's going to be a nether tree farm. And although it's only actually going to be farming one type of tree, I don't know if I'm going to make two of these because you can swap the types of trees pretty easily. And I think I'd prefer that than to replicate this monstrosity next to it. Because, you know, I have other farms that I want to put in here. And we gotta pay attention to those. But yeah, now, before anything, I would like to say that the block-by-block tutorial that I'm going to follow to build this is linked down in the description below. The farm was made by Raisework. Raiseworks? I don't know. Raiseworks, yeah. And he has a block-by-block tutorial. I'm not going to be doing a block-by-block tutorial. Tree farms are a holy hell to make, and I do not intend to have to make a guide on them. But yeah, we are nonetheless going to go into creative and take a look at the farm because I feel like we should, and I'm going to try explaining to you how it works, how it's made, and all that. So let's pop into that creative world, shall we? So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here in Raiseworks' world. He has a bunch of farms here. Actually, some of them are really interesting. But this is the farm we're going to be building today. It is a Wart tree farm, and if I find the lever on off, there you go. You can see right now it's producing warped trees, and there comes the TNT. There you go. And you can see that every here and then it's going to grow. Sometimes it's going to grow something small. Other times it's going to grow something big. It's not always obvious what it grows, but it does grow. And it actually produces a lot of stuff. And not only that, but it's capable of filtering out items. So what's happening here is it's filtering out the warped stem because the build he had here was for warped stems. Of course, everything else that falls, the wart blocks, the shroom lights, and the vines, which I guess don't spawn for this type of tree. The twisting vines only spawn for the other one. They're all going to be composted and brought back into the system as bone meal to feed the entire thing. Now, I thought long and hard about this, and I need a source of all of these blocks. Not just the stems. What noise was that? Anyway. Oh, it's the composters. Okay, I was weirded out there. I need a source of all of these blocks, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to manually stock this with bone meal. And the trick to switch the tree types is to replace the center block right there with the tree that you want, because although these dispensers are filled with bone meal, the center block seems to be the one that actually does things, because what happens here is the center block has, if I can find it, right here, it has a dispenser which bone meals it, and then whenever a mushroom pops up, it's going to be bone mealed by the ones on top, and it will create a tree, which means whatever block is in the center, it's the type of tree this will create. So right now, if I turn this on, it's going to create red mushroom trees, or crimson mushroom trees. If we just wait a bit, you can see that it also pushes the stems upwards. So yeah, there you go. I guess it was blue. Did I replace the wrong block? I might have replaced the wrong block. So this block, oh right, you need to replace, I forget, you need to replace 2 blocks, not just 1, because of the switching floors. So let's go over here, and this is sort of hard to navigate, but it is still possible. Make sure you replace that block as well. You can just replace all of them, to be honest, and just silk touch it back on and on. And there you go. Now it should definitely produce red trees. There you go. And then you can see that it sends a signal through that pillar up here to TNT dupers that shoot down TNT at a certain timing and blow the tree up. And on it goes until we're done. So this farm is a bit complex for several reasons. First, it involves a blast chamber. Let me turn it off. Secondly, you can see that it involves a lot of redstone here in the middle. But I'm going to try explaining this to you. So let's start with the on and off. So what happens when you turn this on is you start 2 things. First, you start the clock on the top observers. See right here, this starts the clock on top observers. And this right here is a block switch. So this is an interrupter switch, I guess, for a timing. It's probably for these pistons right here, because what happens is when a stem, because a stem will get placed there, it's going to transmit a signal, and these pistons are going to push it up. Besides that, you have a clock here that is going to... oh yeah, I forgot. This actually produces like a lot of nether shrubbery as well, which it keeps for some reason. This is the kind of stuff that I wouldn't mind bone mealing, but I guess they didn't want to. I'm not really sure. This is a bit of a complex system for me to explain, so I'm just trying to give an overview. Most of the redstone brain is in here. You can see right here, this is a clock for the piston switch, which is actually quite fancy now that I think about it. But basically these blocks go back and forth. They're bone mealed every now and again. They'll go back and forward. So if the grass grows like you see over there, we actually have a mushroom right there. So as soon as I turn this on, the tree should grow up. But if all of it is completely filled with grass, this is going to go back and forward and break the grass. Which means that it can grow again. And then it'll get bone mealed and eventually turn into a tree. Now, you can see also that there is a timer here connected to this, actually. So to the push pistons. So whenever there's a block there, it's going to send a signal upwards into the sky. Back here, I don't know why they decided to do it that way. Into what I assume is a pulse extender in the timer. And then into the TNT dupers, which are going to launch TNT at a certain speed, at a certain time. And yeah, you can see there's more times here. I think each of these launches TNT twice, I think. It's able to time it correctly, so it blows bottom up. So bottom, then upwards, upwards, upwards. And of course there is a top level. So I tried blocking this off with obsidian so we didn't get large trees, but it's impossible. So yeah, we're gonna turn this back on and see if my... No, it broke immediately. Okay. Oh no, it didn't. It made the tree. Wow. Okay, there you go. I'm trying to catch it here so you guys can see. You can see it broke. There's no mushroom. It broke. There's no mushroom. It broke. Eventually, it will hopefully grow a mushroom. There, that was really fast, but it has a tree. And you can see that all the stems, etc., are being pushed up here. So, also all of these waterlogged slabs have hoppers below them to pick stuff up, which is great. So yeah, this is a pretty cool system. Trying to see what else I can show you guys, because I'm sorry, I'm not technical enough to build these farms or to sort of understand half of the mechanics in here. If you really want to learn everything here, I would point you to RaiseWorks video, which is linked down below, and the tutorial if you want to see the step-by-step one. But apparently the farm is self-sufficient, so you just plop the initial bone meal in, and it's only going to farm wood, of course, but You know, that's fine. We're gonna switch that, and you can see that the crimson stems aren't even... I don't even think you can compost these. No, you can't, so they're just getting stuck here, you know. Because the filters are only for the warped stems. This, I'm not sure what it's for. Guess these are all the items you can farm from this. Not really sure why that's there, to be honest. But yeah, little hopper elevators to bring the bone meal from the composter up, and you can see these chests are filled with bone meal. That's just how we're gonna do it. We're gonna feed it manually. But yeah, with that, I think we're good to pop back into Redstone Craft and see how this is working there, and if it's working there. Trying to think if there's anything else. They do use cauldrons filled. This one's at level 1, and below somewhere here at level 3 to send power signals. So that's something to keep in mind. They also use both honey and slime alternatively, so they don't stick to each other. So not all of these pistons are going to fire at once, only specific ones will. Let's see, what else? Honestly, I just advised the tutorial. This is the block pusher. We are better off watching the tutorial than listening to me ramble about this. And I know some people are going to comment that they don't like the TNT dupers. Honestly, feeding these things TNT to actually make it work would be incredibly expensive, and although some people will argue that's how vanilla Minecraft's supposed to be played, I am okay with TNT dupers. For stuff like this, that's fine. TNT isn't a particularly, like, I'm not duping the item itself, I'm duping it to explode, so it's gonna explode anyway. In fact, we already used TNT dupers at least once, if not more, beforehand to blow stuff up. So, you know, it's just a part of Minecraft. I know not everybody agrees with it, but it is a part of Minecraft. Yeah. With that, I think it is time for us to go back into Redstone Craft and see this tree farm working in person in survival. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so there's a few things that I should explain before we get to what's behind me. You might have noticed that this time there was no time lapse, and that is because this monstrosity took me about 6 hours to complete. And it got to a point where even the time lapse wouldn't be good. It was annoying to make, it took forever, it went wrong in so many places, and when I mean went wrong, I mean blew up. So there wasn't a time lapse today. I know it sucks because I know I told you guys that I would time lapse everything, and that is the objective of this series, is bringing you guys along, but this time I really couldn't do it. I tried, I thought about it, but it wasn't gonna be good content, and it was giving me a headache to even go through the time lapse and actually make it. Because if you guys don't know how the replay mod works, I play and then I have to edit the time lapse into all those camera angles and then do it. And the time lapse is so big that even at 8 times speed, which is the speed that the replay mod allows at the maximum, there was no way I was going through all of it. So I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna tour you guys around in survival. There's a lot of different things from the original one, so I guess we should get started. So for me, and at least for now, this is going to be the central where all the drops are going to come. I'm actually not sure why you're over there. You should go over here. So this corner is the bone meal chest, and you're going to see that it has a observer clock and a dropper chute that's going to power it up and bring it over to here, and basically these 5 hoppers right here, which then gonna load it onto the proper dispensers and droppers and etc. Actually, they're all dispensers, but anyway. Next up on the list is the random, so whatever drops don't go into any of these will come into here. This is more precaution than anything else, because technically I don't need this. but you never know, I might drop a carrot in there, whatever. Then we have, I'm actually gonna see if I can climb onto this. I don't have my scaffolding with me anymore, but let's see. You're empty. Your warped fungi, your crimson fungi, nether sprouts. This are annoying to obtain, but you can get them. Warped roots, crimson roots, twisting vines, which you apparently do get. I didn't know this, but in those bottom chests that I showed, and I will show again in a bit. Actually, I won't. They don't exist because they're linked here. But in the bottom chests, in the contraption, you could get some twisting vines. So I decided to make a chest for it. Then weeping vines, shroom lights, warped wart block, nether wart block, warped stem, and crimson stem. And this is just a regular sorter system with a chest array below, and this is to turn on the farm. I actually don't know if it's gonna have what it takes, but it did seem to kick in. Yep, it did. There you go. Now, there is a slight problem with this, which is the TNTs aren't falling exactly where they should be. So we have some leftover blocks, but these don't actually block growth. What's blocking growth right now is the fact that it's probably out of bone meal. I didn't take damage. That was impressive. I assume the bottom dropper is out of bone meal. It's very hard to actually check, but see if I can do it. I need a better access zone for these things because they are annoying to obtain. Yep. It's actually not out of bone meal. It's just being slow, I guess. Yep, seems to just be slow. One way or the other, whoops. This is now working, and I'm really happy that it is. This took forever. These parts aren't too different. The big differences are the bone meal system. It's manually loaded, so I actually have to unload bone meal here. And it will lock, so I can just dump it on this chest, and once it's overflowing, it will be detected here by that's a comparator with a powered redstone signal. There you go, and it will lock this dropper clock, and I actually need to lower my sound before I go to death with droppers. But yeah, the bone meal is loaded, and it travels through here into these hoppers, then redistributed. So that's the major change, and the second major change is this system right here. So this right here is what happens with the roots, etc. They will come. You're filled with bone meal, or they're all filled with bone meal. Weird. How far backed up are we? Not that far. Why they're filled with bone meal? I will never guess. But oh, actually, I can guess. That was dumb. Anyway, I'll fix that afterwards. There's a hopper in a place where there shouldn't be, but it's fine. Anyway, yeah, the system is working, and it is working quite well, and I actually intend to stay here and farm, but we are collecting everything. As you can see, there's no chests on this side. The hopper line is right there, and all it does is come all the way here and to the back. Another observer clock, and all the way to the sorting system. So as you can see, we are well stocked, and everything will come here, and I can control everything from here. And I'll actually dump off this bone meal right now. So yeah, I know this was a bit annoying that you guys didn't get to see me build this. I'm sort of sad about it too, but yeah. Up top, I didn't really change anything, but I do want to give you guys some pointers now that I've built this. Okay, landing up here might be a slight problem. Okay, here we go. So first, these gates are sideways, which took me forever to actually guess. These ones are forward, these ones are sideways, to that direction. I don't know if it matters, but whatever. Also, for the dupers, and this is something I hadn't noticed, you can't actually place the minecart and the detector rail there. You have to push it, or this whole thing blows up. God, that happened a lot of times. But yeah, thankfully I noticed it. And something else is that you can't just switch. Actually, you probably could, but I don't recommend you doing this away from the tutorial. So make sure you're putting this in there like exactly the same, copied to the sides and not inverted inwards, which was my first attempt at it. And also do try to get these timings right, because they influence a lot of stuff. So yeah, I guess that's it for my pointers. This was a little bit more annoying to build than I thought it would be, but tree farms are knowingly annoying to build, so I'm not too surprised. One way or the other, one way or another, I am pretty tired, and I need to get out of my computer before I go insane. This has been a pretty good build. I still need to revise the bone mealing system, because I mean, there's more bone meal here. See that? Where is this bone meal coming from? I need to, I'm pretty sure I have a hopper somewhere I shouldn't have. Let me actually go check that. Give me just a second. Okay, so there was indeed a mistake. I had a hopper below the dispenser, which isn't advisable or smart at all, actually. What I did is I just rerouted the hoppers in this direction as well, so now they're taking out both from technically these two blocks, but in here, you know, and these two, and they won't take from the middle, so they won't take steel from the dispenser, which means that our production rate should theoretically increase. There you go. And there goes our TNT. But no, fudge sake. But yeah, with that fixed, the farm is now operational, and I might just AFK here for a few hours. I want to see if I can get a couple stacks of these woods, because I am actually running low, and I don't feel like going in manually gathering this now that I have a farm. But yeah, with that, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm just going to look backwards. I hope that skeleton doesn't kill me. Anyway, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I sincerely hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. That's it for today, folks. I'm out. Peace.